Hello everybody, we have brand new information for Hiya Toys. Now we have the announcement of Godzilla King of the Monsters Queen Mutos. Now let's get on to the information with this figure. Let's talk about the size. First of all, it's 15 centimeters tall, which means 5.9 inches. Now, other juicy information for the release date. It's set for 2027 Q2 and the price is going to be $65 with US tariffs included. And also keep in mind shipping depends where you live around the world. It says this figure was made with the CGI data and it was faithfully recreated with that infamous crown-like dorsal spikes on her back with that gray skin that you see throughout the body. It has an articulated jaw and it talks about how they really put in the work for the paint job. You can actually see on the images how there's some battle scars throughout the body. You can actually see how the Muto queen is actually bleeding throughout her legs and some parts around the head, I want to say. So really nice. I think they faithfully did capture the colors correctly, where we do see some blacks with some brownish gray and the very beautiful eyes as well. That's something that they mentioned. It has like a reddish with yellow and orange fading into that infamous light up system that we see in the movie. I'm not saying that they do light up. It's more like the paint job is trying to mimic that feature, if that makes any sense. Now that's all the information for this figure. Now let's move on to my thoughts. I think they did a phenomenal job when it comes to the accuracy and the design itself. One of the most important things besides accuracy is also the paint job. This is probably the most accurate and design we've ever seen for a articulated figure, and the segments given to this figure are very nicely done. Now here's why, because it's not ruining the overall structure and the design itself to the point where you're like, oh, okay, this ball joint or this segment here looks very off, taking away from the overall monster's look. This looks perfect. The legs, the arms, and the crown on this Queen Muto looks really nice. I gotta say, the articulation is there. This might be probably one of the most articulated figures for the Muto line, I want to say, and it's quite surprising. You guys know that I am a huge fan when it comes to the Mutos. I actually have a figure of this myself, and I gotta love it. I'm happy that we finally have a company that's actually showing some love to the Mutos. For the longest time, I think we've gone like 10 years without any true love to the Mutos. The best that we had back then was probably some toys for kids with very inaccurate designs and colors, ranging from black to orange and brownish to orange, and it was terrible. None of them were good enough, at least to my knowledge, and up until now, a few companies have been doing like statues and stuff like that, but we've never ever truly had any articulated figures that truly represented and gave love to those specific monsters from the Godzilla 2014 and Godzilla King of the Monsters in general with the Mutos. And finally, Hiya Toys is showing some respect. Although I do want to touch on a subject with those pictures. The figure itself looks really nice, although I'm questioning if they're using like AI for those backgrounds. I don't think we've ever seen any backgrounds like this where they look too fake. Again, they probably didn't or probably did. That's the only complaint, that there's something off about the images that don't really connect with what Hiya Toys has been doing in the past with their realistic setups or the backgrounds that they've done with cities, cars, their environment that is true to what their figures are supposed to represent. So it's a little bit weird to see in one of the images where the Mutos is simply just floating as the background is edited. There it looks kind of fake if you ask me, or it's a very bad edit for the background. Regardless, I'm not confirming this is 100% AI. I'm just simply pointing out something that look weird with the background, and they are free to use whatever they want, except I don't think it's a good idea if they are using AI for this type of work. I think they should go back to their roots, the traditional original nature of their cities and landscapes and all of that. I think they've done a fantastic job there. But regardless, I'm very excited for this. And don't forget to use the link in the description down below for my discount if you are going to pre-order this from Kokis. Not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping me in return. Overall, Hiya Toys has been doing such an amazing job with their figures. They've been announcing a lot of highly requested ones like Biolante, Kaiser Ghidorah, Godzilla Final Wars, and probably they'll do even more classics and from this modern era and their highly requested ones. I honestly do want them to do a Shin Godzilla and especially Godzilla -1 and -0. I really do hope that they do more Toho monsters and those monsters that really don't get the opportunity to shine. I mean, they gotta show some love and respect to those figures. Regardless, Hiya Toys, you outdone yourself except for the pictures. Very questionable, but regardless, everybody, thank you so much for watching this. I'm going to sleep now. I'm very tired and I've been sick, so thank you everybody for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.